The sexual revolution.
The sexual revolution.
The sexual revolution, the 60s to 70s.
The sexual revolution, folks.
Sexual revolution, short version. There's a long version, but the short version is anybody can do anything they want sexually and nothing bad will happen. Ever. Anyone. Not to you, not to anyone around you. It's all going to be great. Now, no human culture in the whole history of the human race has ever done such a thing or even attempted such a thing, but there you go.
The sexual revolution completely changed Western civilization, and we're living with the results today. So what was it? Well, in 1960, the first birth control pill came out, which made it easier to have unprotected sex without the chance of having a child. This divorced sex from procreation, a fundamental change in humanity. With this new invention, plus increasing exposure to various drugs and a post-war counterculture full of rock and roll and sex, chaos ensued. A new sexual ethic began to pervade society as more people read Freud and his psychology based around psychosexual development and sexual repression. Also, the reports of Alfred Kinsey and the mid-20th century explored people's sexual proclivities, which supposedly turned out to be much less conservative than had previously been thought. Though I should say these studies have been heavily criticized. His reports showed that women were much more sexual creatures than it had previously been the consensus, and that premarital sex, masturbation, affairs, and homosexuality were much more common than the conservative society had once claimed. Soon, second-wave feminists were arguing for women's sexual autonomy and reproductive rights, which made abortion significantly less stigmatized. The gay rights movement emerged as well, particularly after the Stonewall riots in 1969, arguing that gay sex was just as legitimate as heterosexual sex. More people were now having premarital sex, divorce became more common, pornography invaded the culture when it was previously more restricted, gay sex became less stigmatized, and more non-traditional relationships and sex habits became more common as well, such as polyamory and various kinks. Critics claimed this undermined family stability, morality, and social order. Others argued that the revolution primarily benefited men, increasing sexual access while leaving women vulnerable to exploitation and objectification.
And as I was studying these things, there it was in plain sight. I thought by the end of the 20th century, sex had become pretty cheap, nearly free.
And the later AIDS crisis was attached to the unsafe sex that many people were having. So what do you think? Was the sexual revolution one big step forward or several steps back?
No sacrifice. And of course, in order to make that work, you got to do something about the pesky babies, right? So the sub parts of that are the contraceptive ideology, which says we must separate sex from babies. Okay. And the next part of it is we must separate sex and babies from marriage because we don't want to impose on adults the responsibility of a lifelong commitment to your child's other parent. To think that you can have a whole society where sex is sterile. It's crazy to think you can have a whole society where kids don't need their parents.